What's up, guys? It's Gambit. Welcome back to another Godforge video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the top 5 healers in Godforge as of the end of Beta 1. This is going to be the first of many videos covering the other core roles and mechanics that are in the game so that you can see and kind of target the best in class to build up your guys' teams. That said, if you're interested in seeing those later videos, be sure you like and subscribe. It would help the channel out and keep us going over here. So starting out with the top 5 healers, you can see here on the database, 68 heroes have a heal in this game. That is crazy for not even getting to the launch. Speaking of which, disclaimer, this is in beta. This has not been released. All of this is subject to change. The abilities of these characters could change. They could get nerfed. They could get buffed. New characters could come in and knock these guys out of the park. Anything can happen, so just keep that in mind as we get through the video. That said, guys, 68 is a pretty large number of healers that are in the game. However, the way that the database breaks this down is anybody with any heal in their kit. So it's pretty easy to eliminate most of these, as there's a lot of people with self-heals or heals that only target one ally. There's very weak heals, ones that are only like on an ultimate ability. You don't want stuff like that. So for our top 5, there's really 3 things that you want to look at as far as placing a healer among the top, and that's consistency of the heals. So frequency and uptime, the strength of the heals, and then just that they are an area of effect heal so that they cover the whole team, not just one ally. Those 3 things are the recipe for success in any healer. And the top 5, all of them are going to have that. Very excited to get there. So let's go ahead and roll right into that. We're going to start from the rear, as the first 2 that are up are very obtainable for all players. One's a rare and one is an epic, but we'll start out at number 5. All right, guys, so coming in at number 5 is the rare Isold. Honestly, one of the rare favorites in the game, one of the most played in Beta 1. Very good for a rare. That's one good thing about Godforge, is that they really do make some of their rares playable through all stages. They even can compete with the epics and legendaries. Other games, rares really fall off super quickly within the first couple of days. It's not really looking like that for this game. Some of them are absolute trash, of course, but some of them are actually very competitive and can be played throughout. That said, let's get into what makes her in the top 5. So her A1 is attack one enemy and place Mend on the ally with the lowest HP. So if you don't know what Mend does, we'll talk about it a lot in this video, but reduce bleed stacks by 2 and then heal 10% max HP of that hero. So bleed is just a cool little bonus, but as far as the healing goes, 10% HP at the start of that ally's turn. So very, very good there. That it's just kind of a freebie Mend, but that's not what makes her so incredible. What we're looking at is her passive. Her passive, when an ally defender is attacked, heal 10% HP all allies. That's going to scale all the way up to 30% at max level. So huge, because if you're running, no matter what it is, campaign, dungeons, any of the content in the game, you want a defender to, make your team tanky. Defenders typically come with some kind of protect or intercept or taunt, things like that. So they're constantly taking damage. So you're constantly healing your team through this passive. Excellent rare coming in here at number 5. Let's get on to number 4. So number 4 is Ninsoon. She is an epic healer and very good. I did have a chance to play her in Beta 1. Very good sustain for the team. Her whole kit is very healing oriented, and all 5 of these characters, but especially Ninsoon, is very plug and play. You can really put her in any team and she's just going to stay, help keep that team well balanced. So tearing into her skills here, so A1, attack one enemy and heal all allies equal to 10% of their HP. Absolutely incredible for a basic attack. Something you can really plan for, very consistent. Every time she takes a turn, she's healing the team. There's no cooldowns to wait on, and it's just honestly very excellent. And a few nodes in here that is going to scale that healing up even higher. And if you happen to get her to level 5 of Awakening, that heal actually will turn into a shield if you have excess beyond 100% health. So very, very good A1 here, making her very consistent on her heals. Small heals here on her A2, but she has a light cleanse where she'll remove one random debuff from all allies, and then she'll place mend on all allies for 2 turns. Again, mend is going to heal those allies that it gets placed on by 10% at the start of their turn. So just some additional heals there. Just to kind of complement her healing kit. So no heals on her ultimate, but that's not something you really want to plan for anyway, since the ultimate is something that will not be popping up too often. But then her passive also, allies receive 30% more healing from her effects. So very, very good here as well, just to kind of boost all of her heals by that extra 30%. Definitely places her in my top 5. Moving into number 3, guys, is Quetzalcoatl, first legendary we're going to talk about. So he's very good as well, kind of similar to Ninsun on the A1, where he attacks one enemy and heals 10% HP all allies. Now, the difference between Quetzalcoatl and Ninsun is Ninsun does 10% of the allies' max HP. So on attackers, that's going to be a little bit smaller, and then on tanks, it's going to be a little bit bigger. So while it is a consistent heal, it is separate values across the team. Quetzalcoatl doesn't have that. He heals 10% of his own HP to all allies. So you build him high HP, it's going to be larger heals. So very good there. And you can see there is a few healing bonuses for an extra 25% heal if you level up this ability. That being, again, on the basic attack, something you can plan for, very consistent. Very, very good there. The rest of his kit is pretty supportive, adding some speed up, faith up, accuracy up, things of that nature, as well as a pretty cool passive where when he's defeated, he's going to revive 2 allies with 50% HP. So just a very good kit here all around. Leader bonus is 21% speed in all battles. Great character, but as far as discussing him as just a plug-and-play healer, very consistent, very strong heals. Coming in at number 2 for our top 5 healers is Amaterasu. In truth, this is my favorite one. This is the one that I want the most, even more than the number 1 healer. Reason being is I am a fan of her kit overall, and we'll get into that. But again, very similar to Quetzalcoatl on her A1. She'll attack one enemy and heal 10% HP all allies. That is her HP. So again, going to be consistent value. Ramp up her max HP and you ramp up your heals. Also, an additional 20% healing if you level up this ability. Another small bonus on her A1 is if the target is under Aether Burn, she's going to double the heal, which is huge. Her kit also does supply the Aether Burn herself on her A2. No healing on this ability, but 75% chance to place that Aether Burn for 2 turns. So very good there. So basically every 66% of her turns should be double the heals. Going to be massive values there. And then her ultimate is something to talk about. It's not necessarily like a flat heal or anything, and not something you can plan on because it's an ultimate. It takes time to generate. But revive all defeated allies is huge in itself. But the second part there, also equalize the HP of all allies to the ally or enemy with the highest current HP. So that's practically a team reset. Ideally, she's healing herself so much and has so much max HP that she's always at full health. And maybe you're fighting an enemy that has a ton of HP. Either way, equalizing everybody up to the highest is a very, very good ability. All right, guys, and that is going to bring us to our number 1 healer currently in Godforge, and that's going to be Enki. Absolute monster. Don't have him yet. Can't wait to get him to try this out because the heals just look consistent and massive, to be honest. So his whole kit is actually fairly oriented on sustain, mostly healing, but some other abilities are just sustain. So his A1 reads, he attacks one enemy, increase the turn meter of all allies by 5%. It's pretty huge. And then if the ally is under mend, increase their turn meter by 10% instead. So very, very big there. Unfortunately, no boost to the turn meter on leveling that up, just the damage. But hey, can't complain about 10% because your allies are pretty much always going to be under mend if Enki is on your team. Reason being is his A2, remove all debuffs, so it's a hard cleanse, very nice there. And then attack all enemies. Those two things alone make this ability very rare. You don't usually have a cleanse with a AoE attack. That's awesome. That's huge. And then the second huge part for healing here, also place Mend on all allies for 3 turns. 3 turns is massive for placing Mend. This is great. And then if the ally is already under Mend, then they get extra max HP. So just this ability, is his A2 keeps stacking on itself. One good thing after another. Very, very strong ability there on the A2. Reminder, Mend is going to make all allies heal for 10% of their max HP at the start of the turn. That is altered, though, later on here in his kit. So we'll talk about his ultimate real quick first. But heal 30% HP all allies. It's a very strong heal. And increase the duration of Mend on all allies by 1 turn. That is very good. And then you get some extra spice on that one, depending on how much HP they had. All right, and then you get to his passive. His passive is what makes him consistent and very strong. So he's going to have so many mends getting placed throughout the battle. There's honestly going to be nearly too many mends for it to matter. That's why his passive comes in clutch, because Gift of Ingenuity, increase the healing from Mend by 50%. So what that means is Mend is no longer going to heal your allies by 10% of their max HP. It is now going to be 15% of their max HP, which is a pretty significant percentage. And then the second more important part, at the start of this hero's turn, activate 1 Mend on each ally. That's huge. So at the start of his turn, he's healing the entire team by 15% before he even takes his turns that are probably also going to heal those allies. That is massive. And then if you can get him to just Awakening 1, it's a big ask because he is a legendary, but at the start of his turn, place Mend on all allies for 1 turn. That means no matter what happens, he's healing the team for 15% at the start of his turn. That's massive, guys. This clearly puts him in at number 1 for me. Again, I am more excited about Amaterasu myself, but Enki is an absolute monster. Highly recommend, if you get him, you build him up, because, yeah, number 1 healer, pretty hands down. That said, guys, that is going to do it for our top 5 healers. Very excited to be doing these kind of video series covering all the different core roles in the game, as well as some of the kind of niche buffs and debuffs that'll be coming soon as well. So again, please be sure to like and subscribe if you got anything out of this. Very much looking forward to this game. Let me know in the comments down below, what did you think about my top 5? Is there anybody you would have bumped? Who would you have put in their place? Let me know down below. Very curious to hear everybody's thoughts about their healers. Again, guys, if you made it to the end of the video, very much appreciate your time, and we will be looking forward to catching you in the next one.